Good morning, students. In the previous video session, we have completed the 7th unit, and today onwards we are going to start 8th unit. So that is about heat and thermodynamics. We know there is a relation between heat and temperature. Heat means what? One person feeling hot. So what we can tell that heat. And the temperature means, what we are saying means it is degrees. We are measuring the heat, how much heat that body have, that we are measuring by using a thermometer, and that degree we are measuring for this hotness or coldness. That is what we are saying temperature. So in this unit, we are going to study about this thermodynamics as well. We know thermodynamics means it is one of the branch of physics which is dealing with the study of this heat. Also you can see that temperature, it is one of the essential, very much essential thing needed for all of us, our life. You see, all the living things, all the species which is using this temperature to live. Sun, which is providing the enough temperature for us to live on this earth. Like that, all the species need some temperature, some enough temperature to live on this earth. So all are getting that. And we know that if we are feeling more hot, we feel uncomfortable. So that is what this thing and all we will study in this unit. And in that, first thing is about the heat and temperature. But according to your syllabus, from 8.1 to 8.2.5 it is deleted portion, and this is 8.2.6 calorimetry. Actually, assume that we have a hot liquid which is kept in a container. Or you are taking a cup of tea and keeping. We know that sometimes suddenly while we get the tea, we will not drink because of the hotness of the tea. So we will keep it for some time to change its temperature. So during this time, what is happening to the temperature of the tea? We are keeping the glass of cup of tea on the table, and we just wait for a while, so that after some time we will take the tea and drink. So what happened within this 5 minutes or 10 minutes for that hotness of the tea? So we know that our surrounding temperature is always different than the temperature in that tea cup. This tea cup is boiled up to 100 degrees Celsius. Then it is it is poured on the cup and kept on the table. And you know that the surrounding temperature is nearby about a maximum maybe 37 degree or 38 degree. So 100 degree in that cup of tea, 37 degree in surroundings. So what happened to this 100 degree? That also getting less once it reaches the same temperature as its surroundings. So this is what we are saying. And here what is happening means heat is released, heat is absorbed. Maybe the heat is released by this cup of tea, maybe the heat is absorbed. Some energy is absorbed from outside. This is a thing happening, and this heat gain or lost, which is measuring by using an instrument, that is what calorimetry. So this calorimetry, it is used to measure the energy or the heat releases or absorb, heat gain or heat loss from this body. You see, when heat is gained or heat is lost, it is happening because of us, because based on the surroundings. Assume that you are bringing a high temperature. That's what I said before, 1 cup of tea. 1 cup of tea you kept a body of high temperature, kept for some time. What happened means after some time we can see that high temperature body becomes same as the temperature of outside. So when a body of high temperature is brought near a cold temperature, what happened means some heat is lost from the hot body and some heat is absorbed by this cold body. So from the heat body, heat is loosed. That heat is absorbed by the cold body, so that the temperature of these both bodies becomes same. So that is what measuring by using a calorimetry. And you see, you can see a cylinder with water and it is insulated. It is what? Insulated, so that this heat will not go outside, the heat will not enter from outside. That is what a calorimeter. So this calorimeter, it is used to what? To measure how much heat is lost, how much heat is gained. So what happened means this will not allow the heat to enter inside, or this will not allow the heat to go out from this calorimeter to outside. So we can write, based on this we can write an equation. Q gain is equal to Q lost. The heat gained by the cold body is equal to the heat lost by the hot body, and here there is a minus sign is used. It is due to the loss. Due to the loss we are using heat loss, we are using what? Minus. So we can write this equation Q gain A plus Q lost equal to 0. Now you see, assume that one hot sample you have, its temperature is T1 and this water temperature is T2. So now you are dropping this sample hot temperature inside. This temperature with T1 you have kept inside this calorimetry. So here also what happened means the heat after some time you can see that here inside what is happening, the heat, some of the heat is lost from this hot body and it is just spread to its surroundings, so that the temperature of both hot body and cold body becomes same. So from this we can write this equation Q gain is equal to minus Q lost. So now we can substitute, we can assume that this body mass is M and it has a specific heat capacity. Yes. What is meant by specific heat capacity? You know, you have an object with temperature 39 degree. Now you are heating this object and its temperature becomes increased for 1 degree. So you have 1 kilogram of substance, that 1 kilogram of substance you are heating, and this temperature of the substance is increased by 1 degree, so that we can tell that it is specific heat capacity of that matter. So when heating the substance 1 kilogram of mass, and increasing its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. That is what we are saying specific heat capacity. And here we are dropping a hot sample inside the cold liquid so that the temperature, there is a temperature change. So you can write Q gain is equal to minus Q loss. Now, based on the specific heat capacity, you can write this Q gain is equal to M2S2 TF minus T2. Actually, this is specific heat capacity equation. E is equal to MC delta T. This is what the specific heat capacity equation. E is equal to MC delta T. E means the energy. Here we used Q gain, and M means the mass, and C means the specific heat capacity. Here we use the S, specific heat capacity of the cold water. Here we are using, and delta T. Here the temperature difference is TF minus T2. TF means the final temperature after dropping the sample inside the water, and T2 means the temperature of the cold water. Now, Q lost, you can write is temperature lost from the object 1. So, M1 S1 TF minus T2, you can write T1. Heat is gained by this cold water, heat is lost by the sample. So sample, temperature we have considered as T1, and cold water temperature considered as T2. So if we are subtracting this temperature 2 from the final temperature, we will get what? How much heat is gained. So you see, this is a formula. This you can keep it as 2, and this equation you can keep it as 3. Now according to this, Q gain plus Q lost is equal to 0. So that equation 2 and 3 becomes, what will happen? M2S2 into TF minus T2 is equal to substitute this, substitute 2 and 3 in equation 1. So M2S2 TF minus T2 is equal to M1 S1 TF minus T1. Yeah, minus will be there. Now multiply this with this TF so that M2 S2 TF minus M2 S2 T2 equal to minus M1 S1 TF minus into minus plus, so plus M1 S1 T1. Now take this TF term one side. So what will happen means, this minus, when it comes this side, it will change as M1 S1 TF, then plus M2 S2 TF is equal to, take this minus M2 S2 T2 another side, so it will change as M1 S1 T1 plus M2 S2 T2. Now here TF is common here, so that take the TF outside. So M1 S1 plus M2 S2 into TF is equal to M1 S1 T1 plus M2 S2 T2. So the final temperature of the surrounding TF is equal to what you can write down, M1 S1 T1 plus M2 S2 T2 divided by M1 S1 plus M2 S2. So this is how we can calculate the final temperature when we drop the hot object inside a cold object. So again listen, this equation we are writing from specific heat capacity. So Q gain is equal to M2 S2 into Tf minus T2. So Q gain means the second surface, so the temperature of that is T2, that is what, cold water, and Q loss is equal to M1 S1 into Tf minus T1. So what are surface 1, so this hot body lost its heat, that is what, temperature lost, we are writing T1. Now this you have to take it as equation 2, this you can take it as equation 3. Now substituting this equation 2 and 3 in equation 1, so that we will get like this: M2 S2 Tf minus T2 is equal to minus M1 S1 Tf minus T1. Now what you can do is just substitute, multiply this M2 S2 Tf minus M2 S2 T2 equal to minus M1 S1 Tf minus into minus plus, then M1 S1 T1. That is what this step. Now take the Tf term one side, so minus M1 S1 Tf when it comes this side, plus M1 S1 Tf, then plus M2 S2 Tf is equal to this minus M1 S1 T1 plus this minus M2 S2 T2 going that side, so M2 S2 T2. Now take this Tf commonly outside, so M1 S1 plus M2 S2 into Tf is equal to M1 S1 T1 plus M2 S2 T2. So M1 M2 means mass of that object, mass of the first object and the second object, and T1 T2 temperature, then S1 S2 the specific heat capacity of the liquid and the specific heat capacity of the sample. So we got this equation. So by using this equation you can calculate, this is, you can see in the page number 106, calorimetry 8.2.6 part, and it is one of the important question. Long answer question number 5. Long answer question number 5. Mark this. Then next one is Newton's law of cooling. It is 8.2.8 because 8.2.7 is deleted portion. So 8.2.8 Newton's law of cooling. Very important question. Very important question from this unit. Very important question. So first, what is Newton's law of cooling? Newton's law of cooling states that the rate of loss of heat of a body is directly proportional to the difference in the temperature between the body and its surrounding. So the rate of loss of heat of a body, assume that we are keeping the teacup outside, from that some heat is lost, that heat loss timing is directly proportional to the temperature of the that difference between the difference temperature between the surface and that body. So when you are keeping a cup of tea, outside, you know the temperature is losing. The temperature of that cup of tea is losing, and this temperature losing is depending upon the temperature difference between the surroundings and this teacup. That is what Newton said, and this is Newton's law of cooling. Depending upon the surrounding temperature, this heat loss from this cup of tea also changing. Surrounding temperature is less, surrounding temperature is what? More. Then what will happen? This heat loss will take some time. That is what it is saying. Newton's law of cooling state what? The rate of loss of heat of the body is directly proportional to the temperature difference between the surface and this body. So that you can write a equation dq by dt is directly proportional to the surface temperature from that of body temperature. So T minus Tf. So dq by dt is directly proportional to the T minus Tf. So what? Tf means the final temperature, T means what? The surrounding temperature. So Ts means what? Surrounding Ts, not Tf. So Ts means the surrounding temperature, temperature of the surrounding, and T means the temperature of body, and dq by dt, that is what? Heat loss by time. It is directly proportional. It is minus sign, you know, minus sign indicate the loss. Minus sign showing what? The loss of heat. So what is happening means you will get a graph of Newton's law of cooling. When temperature decrease, this is what? You see, we are keeping a cup of tea. First suddenly what? The temperature is decreasing. When it reaches near the room temperature, then it won't decrease. The same heat we can drink that cup of tea. So this is what Newton's law of cooling curve. Then here we can use the specific heat capacity. Assume that one object of mass is m and whose temperature is capital T. Its mass is m, temperature is capital T, specific heat capacity is S. Specific heat capacity of the object is S. So that you can write the equation dq is equal to ms dt. This is equation 1. Now what you can do means, this you can take it as equation 2, divide dt what? Equation 2. Divide dt in equation 2 on both sides. Both sides. So both sides divided by dt. So dq by dt is equal to ms dt by dt. Now dq by dt you got is ms dt by dt. This you can keep it as equation 3. Now from equation 1 or Newton's law of cooling, that is the equation of Newton's law of cooling. Law of cooling. What you can write means dq by dt is directly proportional to T minus Ts. So that you can write this, change this constant, proportionality constant. So you can write dq by dt equal to A minus A T minus Ts. This A is a proportionality constant, changing the proportional symbol and keeping this constant A. This is you can keep it as equation 4. Now next step what you can do is dq by dt value is ms dt by dt. So substitute equation 3 in equation 4. So instead of this dq by dt, we can substitute ms dt by dt. So ms dt by dt is equal to minus a t minus ts. Now rearrange this equation. This capital T is temperature, small t is time. So this T means temperature. Take all the temperature term on side. So dt, this will go down by T minus Ts. T minus Ts equal to minus A. This ms will go down by ms into dt. So this is a equation we got on. Now what you have to do means, this you can keep equation 5, integrate equation 5. So this equation we have to integrate. So what will happen? dt by t minus ts equal to minus a by ms dt integration. Here limit 0 to t, here temperature 0 to infinity. Infinity temperature, and here what? 0 t time. Now I will integrate. This is dt by t minus ts. This is in the form dx by x. So that means 1 by x into dx. This integration form is what? Log x. Dx by dx. Dx is this is x. So that is what you can tell 1 by x dx. So the integration is log x, or you can write ln x. So integration of this is ln x. So x means here t minus ts is equal to minus a is constant, by m is constant, s is constant. Only we have to integrate dt. So dt integration is t, along with the one constant a1. This is what we are saying, integration constant a1. So minus a by ms t plus a1, and this a1 is integration constant. Now we have to change this ln symbol, so that we have to take the exponential form. So what means e power of this you have to take, e power of this. So e power of this means just cancel the ln. So t minus ts is equal to e power this you can write e power minus a by ms t plus a1, and t minus ts you can write this is in the form x power a plus b. So you can write x power a into x power b. So you can write e power minus a by ms t into e power a1. Now you can take this a1 as one constant, and this you can take a constant b2. So that you can write t minus ts is equal to e power minus a by ms t into v2. So the final equation you can write is t is equal to t s plus e power minus a by ms t into v2. This is the equation we are getting in Newton's law of cooling. Thank you all.